Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
We try to base everything we do on scientific fact on this program, and I have this very worthwhile information for you this morning. Birthdays are good for your health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live longer. Okay, good morning and welcome. Zeb at the Ranch. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a Patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance on a Thursday. And a good morning to you and yours. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell on a Thursday morning, October 24th, and welcome. And our major sponsor, of course, is your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations with a big, huge fall tire sale going on right now at all 7 locations. Stop in and see them today. And other fantastic advertisers include Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And also, they have incorporated into their fold the Elite Fitness, so check that out today. Don't forget Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living, also at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question, Lorna. Do you have your costume?
I do.
Okay. We'll see you at Lunch Bunch. God bless you for calling in. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you much. Holy moly, it's time for the weather forecast, and the weather brought to you by Roger and the crew. They get there early in the morning to help you folks at K&R Rental, 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. You couldn't miss them. They're right there on the Burley-Paul Highway. All the best of tools and equipment for what you need to finish any kind of a task. And don't forget, the way this weather's changing and getting a lot cooler, colder is a better word, you better make sure that they check out the air compressors to blow out all those sprinkler lines. They've got equipment for anything, everything. So please check it out today at K&R Rental. Number to call Roger and the crew, 678-3122. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Another relatively nice day as we get one day closer to the weekend. Here's what we're looking at. Expecting sunny skies with a high of about 54. A little bit breezy, not too bad tonight. Nice and clear with a low of 30 tomorrow. Sunny skies, expecting a high of 63. Winds out of the east at about 6 miles an hour. Friday night, clear skies with a low of 37. The winds will be picking up, and we could have gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Expected for Saturday, mostly sunny skies, breezy, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Looking at a high of 50. And Saturday night, we do have a slight chance of rain or snow showers before midnight. Slight chance of snow showers after midnight, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 23. Then by Sunday, back to sunny and 40s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at 3.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Excellent job on that weather forecast, Gina. And brought to everybody by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 West of Heyburn on the Burley-Paul Highway. You've seen it a million times driving by. Well, what you need for equipment is right there. The best tools and equipment for both long and short-term rental at K&R Rental. Again, that number is 678-3122. Hey, Merv May, come on in here. Let's talk about the sale today.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get $1.31, $1.31.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best doggone auctioneer, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, and it's the sale that works for you. The number to call for cattle consignments and sale information, 678-9411. I talked to Merv last night, and the Windy Wheat Ranch over at Rockland's bringing in 100 head of ripping good calves, and the Southern family out at Sublet. How are you folks doing this morning? Bringing in another good bunch of 110 calves. And there's a couple of semi-loads of mixed calves coming in from Utah, weighing 500 to 650 pounds. Ron Spillett of Rockland bringing in 80 head of calves. And Ron Jones up at Richfield. Hello, Richfield. How you doing? Bringing in 65 head of calves. Butcher cows coming in from Antelope Hills Dairy and Acme Dairy. And along with a good trailer line run, the sale's going to start at 10:30 this morning at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Again, that telephone number to get a hold of Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get $1.31, $1.31, $1.32, $2.5, $3.5, $1.34, $4.5, $5.5, $1.30, $5.50, $1.35, sell them $1.35. Zeb Mel, get the bottom again.
I will take that price. I'll tell you, I hope when I get ready to sell my steers that we can get that. Thank you. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Thursdays are a day on this program where we have quite a few different segments. I mean, like our Chamber of Commerce report, and of course, Rita Ramsey's going to be on, Starving to Death, Cassia County School Days. Today, Debbie Critchfield is going to be on the phone with us. And our business salute with Jeff over at Lee's Furniture. We got a lot of things cooking, including all your phone calls. But I want to remind you that we will be over at Denny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley at 11:30 today for lunch bunch. And I urge you to be in attendance. Now, come on, it's our Halloween costume contest. There's going to be a lot of laughs. A lot of laughs. It should be a lot of fun. And we've got prizes donated from Lee's Furniture, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and Tires West Les Schwab to our top costume winners. And it's going to be a lot of fun, like I say, at a great restaurant, Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner at 611 North Overland in Burley. And we also want to thank, for our gift certificate donations, Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, and Denny's. Great food, wonderful people serving you at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant. All right, calls are welcome and appreciated as we start off the morning. And I'm going to start off by talking about a name and a person that will just not go away. It's kind of like indigestion. Oh, yeah, you already guessed it. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton. Is she right now just selling books that she supposedly co-wrote with her daughter, Chelsea? Or laying a pathway to run again as a twice-failed has-been wannabe for president? Now, the phony smile, the sardonic laugh, the evil eyes, and the magpie voice have not been accepted by the American public twice. And there is a lot of people out there that are claiming that within a matter of weeks that there will be also another hat in the ring and it will say Hillary for the Democratic nod. I don't think that this country can go much lower in a lack of substantial, qualified, people to run for the presidency. None on the Democratic ticket. And evidently the Democrats are really sweating. They're buying cases of deodorant right now because their so-called leadership that is in the top three right now, and that being Bernie, and I'm not denigrating the man at all. I hope his health improves. But after the heart attack, opens up a lot of questions about physical fitness and his being able to withstand the rigors of a public office. Then you have Elizabeth Warren, absolutely out in far, far left field, selling peanuts to the audience on her wacky, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, everything's free, Medicare for all, don't worry about it. We, the government, will handle it for you attitude. That is not going to work. And then, of course, Joe Biden. Joe doesn't look well. I can't say it any more bluntly. I watched him give a speech yesterday, and he looks shaky. He looks like he is intimidated by giving the speech. I guess the best way to say it is he just looks old and tired, and not really ready physically to accept the challenges of the possibility of being the president. And if that's the best they can muster, that's what's scary. What are your thoughts about the Democrats and who might be lurking behind the curtain to step forward and try to take the nod? Give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. While I'm waiting for your call, I want to remind you about Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. They also get there early in the morning at 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. And it's not bragging, it's a fact. They've been in business almost 7 decades of serving you with all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. And I do mean all. Their experience and expertise is second to none. Ramsey Heating and Electric, I urge you to give them a call, 678-0459. And again, they're located at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Want to also remind you, there's a good old boy, and I mean a good old boy on Overland, and that's Anthony with Save on Shells. Just after the program yesterday, somebody called me, and they said, where is he exactly? And I told him that he's located at 1827 Overland in Burley, and the best way to make sure that he's going to be there with all, and I mean, he's got an assortment of campers. Here's campers, there's campers everywhere. Camper Shells at Save on Shells, 1827 Overland and Burley. Call him at 312-1525. I'll repeat that number again, 312-1525. Quality, service, and low prices. I'm telling you, Anthony is the best for Save on Shells, 1827 Overland in Burley. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. The menu for the Burley Senior Center, if you can't go to Zeb's lunch bunch today, is chicken fried steak, vegetables, salad, and yummy dessert, and it's only $5.
Well, now you can't beat that with a stick. And what about people that want to take it back to their office?
They'll call in. They can have one to go for the same price.
All right. Joe, Joe, I want to wish you a very, very good weekend. You add just a real bright spot to my program in the morning, so thank you.
Thank you for letting us come on.
Oh, you're very welcome. God bless you, man. Thanks much.
Bye.
All right, take care. Joe Taylor, you know, if we all had to get up and go and drive of that man that has overcome major obstacles and handicaps, we'd all be a lot better off. Great guy. Don't forget Ark Animal Hospital. Hello, Dr. Bill at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. You know, they really do care about your animals and your animals' health. And I want to urge all the horse owners, boy, now is the the time to make sure your horses have got all the vaccinations and dewormed for the fall and winter. Absolutely don't put it off. And one of the most vital things that we talk about on this program, it's not feed, it's not medicine, it's simply water. Animals need a lot of good water sources during the cold winter months, so make sure that they've got adequate water. And if you have any questions, call Ark Animal Hospital at 678-1177. Ark Animal Hospital with Dr. Bill and the crew, 750 21st Street in Heyburn, where they do have the warm hearts for the cold noses. All right, your turn. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Do you feel that you can say freely anything you want to your friends and neighbors in a conversation? Do you feel that if you're walking down the street, you can talk about any issue or perhaps politician or perhaps circumstance without any retribution whatsoever? Do you feel that if you're talking about politics or you're talking about the status of the world today and some of the troublemakers, whether it is Antifa or whomever, that you should have the right to say what you want, say how you feel when you're in private, underline that word, private conversations? Well, that's changing. It's really changing. And now the word police are out there and they're taping you. And there are also people that are going to turn you in and try to get you fined and or jailed if you say something that they don't like or that they say offends them. Now, just to give you an instance. Now, think about this. Close your eyes. If you're driving, just close one eye. 3 people are walking through a dimly lit parking lot at the University of Connecticut student apartment complex. Now, they didn't know that they were being watched. But as the trio crossed in front of one of the open windows right there in that parking lot, they were talking about race relationships and the problems and the causes and what's stirring everything up. And one of the people in the conversation did use the N-word. Well, this was also not just an observance. They were being recorded. How and why this all occurred, I have no idea. But they were being recorded, and this tape came back to haunt them. And now these 3 students are in, quite frankly, a lot of trouble. The university is investigating whether or not they have violated the student code of conduct, which could severely cause them to be expelled, I should say, from college. And then there's also other charges that the community is thinking about as far as maybe fines and or jail time. Now, whether the conversation had words that were offensive or not, my question to you, the audience, is, are we at that point in America, the bastion of a free society, a beacon of hope to the world to come here and live, that we are going to have people listening, people taping, and people turning you into police for expressing your thoughts about various situations and people? Let me know. Call me, please, quickly at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. This is getting pretty scary. I remember when, it's been 10, 12 years ago, that someone, and I cannot remember who it was, on this program said, I'm going to send you a little cartoon booklet of what the future of the United States will look like going into the 2000s. And I looked last night, I looked through my desk, which is a hopeless cause, because once it's in my desk, it's lost forever. But I was trying to find that one segment about people turning people in for saying something that they didn't like and people being taken to prison, free speech gone. This was predicted like 10, 12 years ago, and now it's occurring. What are your thoughts? Please give me a call. While I'm waiting for your call that's coming in, and I'll try to get rid of my froggy voice, I want to remind you about Dino Septic Service and, of course, the best at what they do with septic inspections, septic tank pumping, liquid waste removal, sewer and sink drain lines cleaned, everything for you. All you need to do is just call the numbers. Get on the phone right now. Dial 436-6526 or 678-1638. I'm talking fast, fair, friendly service, knowledgeable service from Dino Septic Service, and they pull in the yard with that big truck that says, "Smells cargo on the way." Dino Septic Service, you get a hold of them right now. Don't put it off. I don't even know who's on the board right now. I think Gina started, and I don't know if she's still there or not. Gina, are you there on the board this morning?
No, I'm here this morning, sir. I started in the moment the show had started.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'm here.
All right, calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call on the landline. Let me know about how you feel. Maybe sitting at a basketball game or a football game. And maybe you're talking about, some circumstance in the community that you don't agree with, or some person or group that you don't agree with. And there's somebody there with maybe their telephone and they're taping your conversation. And maybe there's somebody there listening to you and they say, well, I don't like what he said about Bob Smith. I'm going to absolutely turn him in. And the way this thing is going now, on our lack of free speech, all it takes is one witness and they can turn you in on private conversations. Now, the NAACP got involved in this conversation back in Connecticut, and they said if the University of Connecticut, here's a quote from them, does not adequately address and handle these occurrences of racism appropriately, it will create a culture in which racism is tolerated and normalized. And the NAACP letter said, we demand, I hate that word, when somebody says we demand for your full assurance that you will take appropriate measures to hold these students involved in these heinous acts of racism accountable. And keep in mind, these are private conversations. They did not get up on a podium. They did not get up in a circle of people and hold a microphone and give these thoughts. It was a private conversation. I've seen the video. And they're just walking through the parking lot talking to each other. And I'm really worried as to what's going to happen about this. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Are you afraid? And don't snuff off at this, please. This is something that, if it gets worse, it's going to grow like a cancer. Like I said, it could be maybe even a church. Somebody doesn't like what you say. Maybe it could be in any circumstance. And they can turn you in, and possibly you could be litigated against for a fine or jail time. Please let me know what your thoughts are. 436-2244. Please give me a call quickly. I'd like to hear from you. While I'm waiting for your call, it should be coming in. Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. My, they've got all the big dudes. They've got all the Doosan wheel loaders and excavators. They've got all the sizes of the Bobcats for the various jobs. I mean, when it comes to lifting and digging and pushing and carrying, they've got the equipment for you. And at the Burley location, they've got the hammer drills and bits up to 2 inches and ready to serve you. I'm talking about equipment that'll get the job done. Barry Equipment and Rental, West 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin, and the Napa location for Barry Equipment and Rental. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome, sir. I'll send you the bill.
You bet.
Yeah, how do you take away free speech?
What do you mean, how do you take away free speech?
By the word police.
Wheels, wait a minute, Doug. Wheels, you've got to give him a little bit more volume, and you've got to turn it up a little bit in my headsets. We're having a little trouble hearing each other. Through a Gestapo communistic approach of somebody monitoring, somebody wanting to pay the piper to go and tape you or say that you said something illicit or dirty or illegal and turn you in. I mean, this is turning into a Nazi Germany attitude.
It is. It's turning into, like Adam Schiff is doing the Star Chamber deal in those secret rooms. It's the word and thought police, the people that think they know everything can say you can't say that, so that's taken away free speech.
You know, now let me ask you a question, Doug. I've always known you to be straightforward and not say anything negative about a person or a group of people. But let's just say that you and I, our wives, are sitting at a dinner, and we've had this occasion, and we're talking about politics, or perhaps we're talking about the past Obama administration, or we're talking about something going on with, okay, let's use Antifa or some other group. Well, supposing there's a group of young people, 20, 24 years of age, sitting nearby, and they hear this and they get up, they go outside, they get on their cell phone and say, we just heard so-and-so and so-and-so talking, and we're turning them in for speech that is hate speech and detrimental, and we want them arrested. That's what this is coming to.
Exactly. And thus, you're taking away free speech. And who is the judge of free speech?
Yeah.
The liberals that get their little panties in a wad just because things don't go their way.
And this seems to be geared against white people only, Caucasians. And the reason I say that is that I'll read you a sentence that was part of this NAACP report. White people think they're tired of hearing others complain about racism. How about how tired black Yukon students feel? Have you noticed all the different slang words and terminologies that different races use for different races? And I'm going to be blunt. I'm going to say the blacks to the whites, you know, whether they're honkies or whatever. And there's a lot of other terminologies you can't say on the radio. Why isn't there a scrutiny or a discernment about what they say?
Because they're part of the elite group. They're part of the people that they use to try to take this country down. They use the black people. The Democrats have used the blacks for ever since they had slavery, and they're still using them, claiming that they are victims when the Democrats are the ones keeping them a victim.
Okay, now I have every day, thanks to my computer guru, John Ellis, a absolute great library of all the different shows that we have, all the different segments that we have, and all the guests that we have. And many, many times we have guests call back and say, could we please have a copy of our segment? And we give them that information. I'm starting to think right now, and I think you'll agree with me, that whether it's Limbaugh, whether it's Ingram or myself, it doesn't make any difference who, we are all now living on the edge of the burner on the stove to the point where somebody's going to push us into full heat if they say, I heard you say this and I'm going to turn you in to be arrested. This is how scary this is.
It's exactly right. It really is. I mean, sure, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater because people can get hurt. So, you know, that I understand that one. But criticizing somebody or criticizing a politician or another person for what they've been saying or doing, that's free speech. You have the right to voice your opinion.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. If certain words are used in a conversation in a public setting, okay, like you're in a restaurant or you're in a basketball game, football game, whatever, and let's just say the N word. We won't say it, but we'll use the inclination that it would be used. It may be offensive to hear that, but really, does that person that used that word, are they susceptible and liable for any kind of legal recourse because they said a word that other people deem not acceptable? I mean, in other words, who's going to say that if you say the word Appaloosa, that somebody's going to say, I don't like you talking about horses that way? I mean, this is how ridiculous this thing is getting.
Exactly. And I have heard many black people use that word. So why aren't they being criticized for using that word?
And your point is such a good point and well taken at this juncture, because if you'll listen, and I will not subject myself to rap music. I've got better things to do with my life and my hearing than to listen to garbage like rap music. But unfortunately, what you just said is so true, that they have used the own denigrating terms for themselves and even in the music and as titles of the music.
Exactly. I mean, if they can say it and it doesn't offend anybody, then everybody can say it.
Well, I'm not about to put myself at that level and call anyone with a slang terminology that is that offensive. But what I am saying is, here are 3 students, and they're not in front of a group of people. They're not announcing to the world their feelings or their racial thoughts. They're walking through a parking lot, Doug, and they're taped and videoed because somebody had an open window. I don't know how all this occurred, but I'll tell you something. It's kind of scary that somebody's out there lurking in the darkness to record and then get ya.
That's it. It's a gotcha deal. If they can make you feel uncomfortable, then they'll get you to apologize. Like LeBron James. That man has no backbone. He may be, 7 foot tall, but he has the backbone of a snail.
Well, his mind's not much bigger either.
Hey, a quick thought for the day and my tagline. There's 2 things in life you are in total control over, are your attitude and your effort.
I agree. Boy, that really hits home, attitude and effort. And I don't think there's a person listening that could say that they're perfect and have never had to address those issues. I know I have, especially when it comes to attitude.
There's one perfect human that walked this world.
Absolutely.
They crucified him.
Absolutely. All right, tagline time. Go ahead.
All right, everybody, let's do what we can for senior centers. I know I keep saying this, but we wouldn't have the great country we do today if it wasn't for what our seniors did in their youth.
Absolutely. Doug, thank you. And by the way, appreciate your conversation on free speech. Thank you very, very much. Calls are welcome. I'd like to hear what the other people think about this. I mean, ladies, it could be you maybe at a gathering, whether you're talking about maybe coming up with fair projects in the sewing circles or whatever, and somebody doesn't like you or what you said. I mean, this thing has got to be stopped. And I certainly do know and appreciate that some people are going to say, well, they shouldn't have used those words in the first place. That's not the point. That's not even close to being the point. The point is that people are listening, taping, and turning people in to be punished in a supposedly free speech society. And this bothers me. Calls welcome, 436-2244. I want to remind you about the Bennett Boys Auction Service. Absolutely, they got a ripping good sale this Saturday, October 26th in Donnelly. Get in the pickup, get in the car. Everybody go on up to Donnelly. It's going to be a good sale. The Rockin' Horse Ranch Equipment and Farm Auction, and I'm talking really good equipment. They're going to have a lot of saddles and horse tack and household and miscellaneous tractors, farm equipment, trailers. When I talk about saddles and horse tack, they've got bridles, bits, tacks, silver spurs, Western and English and children's saddles. Woo! All there at this sale on Saturday. Up in Donnelly, and there's going to be all kinds of good people going up there. Watch for the signs, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. I'm surprised other people haven't called in. I'm really concerned about free speech. And here's something else to kind of think about a little bit this morning. At Penn University, Pennsylvania University, yesterday, and you know who this guy is. You've seen him on television many times. I'll talk about Tom Homan in a minute. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Zebediah, just a little thought. The Clintons are probably just about broke, so they need to put in Hillary, the president, Bill, the vice president, and Chelsea, Secretary of State. That way they could pad their checkbook some more.
Bob, I want you to go immediately to either the kitchen sink or the bathroom. I said I want you, Wheels, you got to run that gain over there, buddy. I want you to go immediately to the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink and wash your mouth out with soap.
Another thing, I don't think our Astros are going to make it this year. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much. Quick regard to what Bob said about the Houston Astros. I really thought that they were the team of, I hate to use this word, I don't believe in it, destiny. I thought the Astros would really trim the wings of the newcomer that's never played there before at the World Series, the Washington Nationals, and it's not working out that way at all. I mean, the Nationals last night just absolutely ran over and scorched the Astros 12-3, take a 2-0 lead in the World Series. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I'll say it's a good day in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
I feel good. You feel good. Let's make the very best of it, shall we?
Absolutely. What can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to mention something about free speech. Free. That word free has gotten completely out of hand. There is no such thing as a free lunch, free speech, or anything else, according to the way this thing is going. Where are we headed for anyway?
Well, you can answer that yourself. We're going towards a communistic, socialistic style of governance where everybody has to be under the cloak of darkness and worry about whether they're going to get a knock on the door late at night. You know, there are people out in the audience that absolutely are so naive and in some cases even stupid not to realize about how the rights are being infringed on America and Americans like themselves today, whether it's gun control, whether they're telling us what to eat, whether they're telling us where their kids can be educated or not, the cutting back on certain education systems that are impeding the progress of students that are really sharp, whether it's energy. I don't want to go to green energy. I want to see more of the energy that comes from fossil fuels to make this country stronger, and everybody's going to benefit from it. When do you want me to stop? I could go on and on.
Well, again, about free speech. Probably 30 years ago, I remember right here in Burley, Idaho, this little group got together and decided they did not like the coach. There was only 7 or 8 of them, and they just kept it up and talking about the guy and accusing him of things and everything till finally he lost his job. Now, what was free about that?
You know,
free.
Well, being a coach, we're kind of getting off the rails here a little bit, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but being a coach today is one of the most thankless jobs in the world, and the hardest job in the world. I mean, you're trying to appease all the kids. You're trying to appease all these wannabe personalities. We're going to try to appease all the parents' personalities and the wants and their supposed knowledge that their son Jimmy's going to be all conference and go to college on a scholarship. I mean, being a coach is really, really a tough job.
It is indeed. But when you ruin somebody's life just to make yourself happy, that's not being free.
I'll tell you what, coaches today, now I agree with you, but coaches today, I think, are severely underpaid and severely under a microscope that absolutely I would not want to put myself in. I used to coach, and the parental involvement and community involvement, and everybody knows more than the coach does, and my son is the best, my daughter's the best, all this kind of garbage. No, it just isn't worth the headache sometime.
Well, a good example of that, there was Boise State that was doing very, very well, and they were knocked off last Saturday, I believe it was.
Yep.
I don't follow football.
I do.
But the coach will take the blame for that. He has to.
No, I tell you something. I think Harson's doing the right thing. Whether you like Harson or not, a lot of people find him abrasive and everything. I find him to be straightforward. He came right out and said his team stunk, and they did.
Yeah, but a coach can be the best coach in the world, but if he doesn't have the talent in his players, he's not going to succeed.
Oh, I agree with that. I totally agree. Keith, it's good to hear from you. God bless you, man. Thank you so much.
I hope you have a wonderful lunch bunch today, and I wish I could be there.
Well, don't you think for a minute that you're not going to be missed. We appreciate you. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet.
All right. Thank you. Want to remind everybody about Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And they, at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, are very thankful to serve local veterans' hearing health care needs. And that's through the VA Community Care Program. Now, during the week of November 11th through the 15th, they urge you to stop by their office in Rupert to receive a small gift as a token of their gratitude for your service. That is really nice. And by the way, the folks at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids are located right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room. So veterans, we salute you, and they want you to stop by during the week of November 11th through the 15th. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And the number to call, 417-8799. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Another relatively nice day as we get one day closer to the weekend. Here's what we're looking at. Expecting sunny skies with a high of about 54. A little bit breezy, not too bad tonight. Nice and clear with a low of 30 tomorrow. Sunny skies, expecting a high of 63. Winds out of the east at about 6 miles an hour. Friday night, clear skies with a low of 37. The winds will be picking up, and we could have gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Expected for Saturday, mostly sunny skies, breezy, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Looking at a high of 50. And Saturday night, we do have a slight chance of rain or snow showers before midnight. Slight chance of snow showers after midnight, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 23. Then by Sunday, back to sunny and 40s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebeth Rand.
And thank you, Gina. Brought to you by this hour, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And believe me, they are the best at what they do, helping you with your hearing health. Call for a meeting and an appointment today at 417-8799. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 441-866-927-4587. Just a little bit more on this free speech, or using your speech. Let's turn this thing back a little bit, dial it back to where the left, and this happened to me back in 2007, leading up to the presidential election in 2008, that everybody calling everybody else a racist because they didn't, and I certainly did not, support Barack Obama. Now, one of the lowest things I think anybody can call anybody is a racist. And many of the so-called Democratic leaders within the Magic Valley and the state came after me and called me a racist. I couldn't hit them all in the nose and walk away, so I had to take some of their garbage until finally I fought back. But I never did act in a racist manner against Barack Obama. And the idiocy of what they did, and I've told you this story 1,000 times on the radio, is at the same time they were saying I was a racist, and for those that remember and follow this program, and it's on tape, I can prove it, I was advocating the first black woman to become president, Condoleezza Rice, on the Republican ticket. So I guess if I'm against Barack Obama, and I didn't like his politics as a senator, and I certainly did not want him to become president, I guess then I'm a racist. But when I'm supporting Condoleezza Rice for her run possibly to get into the presidential fray, that's okay. Huh. Funny how the left are a bunch of idiots. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Did you hear that Tom Homan, former ICE director, was literally booed and chanted off the stage at Penn University yesterday? This was terrible. It was despicable. It was not indicative, I'm sure, of all the students at Penn University. But he was literally yelled off the stage because these 19-year-old punks, and that's what they are, that don't know Khmer from Sikkim, were standing up and yelling obscenities and everything at him about being a former ICE director and about trying to uphold the laws of the land. You know, maybe you don't agree, parents, aunts, and uncles, and everybody else out there, but at 19, and they're going to a major university, these kids are in a very formulative type mindset. They don't know anything. They just basically are out of the house where mom and dad fed them, clothed them, and gave them an allowance. Now they go to college or university, and they know everything about the intricacies of our laws and how they are represented across the United States. They don't know nothing, in simple English. And yet these 19-year-old punks are going to stand up there and boo down a man of law enforcement that has been in law enforcement for over 40 years. These kids have enough trouble trying to match socks in a sock drawer, and yet they're booing down a man of integrity that knows his job. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. What these young punks don't realize, this bunch coming across the border are not here to assimilate. They're here to overtake. And when there's enough of them in here, they're going to find their cities are going to be run by the drug cartels, gangs of MS-13. This young bunch has no idea what's coming.
Well, I think you're right as far as not knowing or understanding what's coming. They certainly don't understand socialism. If they were with any gray matter between the ears whatsoever, they would see the horrendous effects that socialism has had on other countries in the world and other populations. But I get a little sick and tired of them yelling and screaming and burning and kicking in windows and everything else, or shouting down people that are trying to just have a nice speech about what's happening, and they all of a sudden know everything, and they turn into nothing more than a mob.
Well, they're nothing much more than a bunch of spoiled brats that haven't been hurt yet. And I've been into a lot of foreign countries in my service time, And I'll tell you, I would not want to see this country turned into some of those.
I couldn't agree more, but Tony, it's a sign of the times. I mean, people that have dedicated their life to enforcing the laws and being a part of law enforcement are booed off the stage by 19-year-old punks that don't even know how to go pay a parking ticket. Give me a break.
You know, this law enforcement people there, they're putting their lives at risk every single day to protect us. And what's going to happen when they can't get enough police officers to take over the job because they know they're going to be abused when they get on the job?
I couldn't agree more.
Going to something else other than law enforcement.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the day is coming. The day is coming, and I got to end this call because I'm late, but the day is coming that we are going to pray. We are going to pray for more police to get involved in that occupation. Totally agree with you, Tony. Thank you. I got to run.
You're welcome.
All right, buddy. Don't forget your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and serve is the key word. They've got the best of tires, and they've got a great big fall tire sale going on right now. I mean a big fall tire sale. And doing the right thing since 1952. They really care. Now, along with the tire sale, you know they've got the best in front-end alignments, shocks and struts, and, of course, batteries and brake service. They've got highly trained brake technicians ready to make sure that when you put your foot on the pedal, you're going to stop. Absolutely. Stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. The best, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers. Going to take a break for the news. I'll be back in 7 minutes. Don't go away. Zeb at the Ranch. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. It looks like a nice day outside. We'll have Gina's weather coming up a little bit later on. But good morning to you, Zeb at the Ranch on this Thursday, October 24th, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a big fall tire sale going on right now at all 7 locations. And other great advertisers on the program include Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Along with their new business connected with it is Elite Fitness. And, of course, don't forget they're helping you get back to being you. And, of course, Greystone Crossing, Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Right now, before we go any further, I'll talk a little bit about Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Yes, they have recently acquired Elite Fitness at 1200 Oakley Avenue, so you can really keep fit. And if you do have some injuries or recouping from a surgery, don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley with Nick Greenwell and all the physical therapists helping you with the exercises, the hydrotherapy pool, everything right there. Call. Take care of yourself. 678-1191. 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And keep fit at Elite Fitness at 1200 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Let's see, what else have I got? Oh, yes, I want to talk about a dear friend, or friends, I should say, and that's, of course, Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Hello, Joel Heward, family and staff, serving all of your families. When there's the passing of a loved one, everything is just thrown up in the air. You don't know what to do. You don't know how much of a time frame. Please call them, 436-5636, and they provide the families they serve with the best possible support and comfort, always with the highest ethical standards and unquestioned integrity. Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, 436-5636, and Joel Heward also serving you and your family at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Well, it's that time. Yes, it is. Over the river and through the woods to Penny's main office we go at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Here's Penny Main, the president. Good morning.
Good morning, friend. How are you?
I'll let you know at 5 o'clock.
Well, okie dokie. It is a beautiful day.
It is.
Say that. The snake looks like glass this morning. Little chilly burger out there, but it's beautiful, that's for sure.
What is going on? No, that's a dumb thing for me to say, what's going on. You send me enough pages that would fill the book War and Peace, and then I'm going to ask you what's going on.
I know, and I don't know how to not do that and be more, concise about it, but we've just got a lot going on. First of all, I keep saying it's a great time to be in business in Mini-Cassia, and that's the truth. We want to welcome the Goody Motor Group, Edith, of course, serving those great burgers, oh my goodness, along with Top-Notch Event Center, and Cozy Coffee to the Mini-Cassia Chamber team. And we would love to have you be part of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, and we can tell you about that a little bit later. You want me to go into this list of events real quick?
Well, let me ask you this. I'll return the question. Would I dare stop you?
Oh, just keep going, but you do have control of the button. So
not really. Not your button. I mean, once your wheel starts downhill, your wagon's going to roll.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me start rolling it quickly. First American Title, it's Socktober. They're seeking donations of new warm socks. This is a great opportunity to, if you're shopping, buy a couple of extra pair of socks, then take them to First American Title right there by Seasons Dental, just in front of Walmart on Overland Avenue, and they'll be distributing those socks. I know they've got a whole bunch of them over there, but they'll be doing that through the end of next week. So if you have a chance, donate a couple of pair of warm socks to keep some feet happy and warm this winter. CSI and the Burley, Idaho Institute of Religion are hosting a blood drive today from noon to 5 at 1650 Park Avenue, and this will benefit the American Red Cross. Our friends over at Idaho Water Sports, in cooperation with Pomerel, present their annual ski swap today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And also, it's the last chance to pick up discount tickets for the ski season at Pomerel. I was up in Albion on Saturday afternoon for Mr. Anderson's funeral services, and we walked into the church, and the sun was shining, and it was beautiful. When we walked out, there was about an inch or two of snow on our vehicles. So it's getting ready to snow. So now's the time to prep if you're a skier, and this is a great time to get a great deal on some skis. So check that out. Celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's Roll In for Breakfast and Roll Out with Awareness. That's tomorrow morning at Intermountain Cassia Regional Hospital. Get there early while supplies last. They'll be handing out some great swag with regard to breast cancer awareness, and I think they're serving breakfast, so first come, first serve. The Harry Potter experience starts today. It goes through Saturday. I do know that tickets are limited, so if you need some more information on that, check out the historicwilsontheater.com for details. Our friends of the VFW are hosting their annual Trunk or Treat party. That's tomorrow night. We're going to head on over there at 554 Highland Avenue. It's a great event. It's free to the public. Costumes are encouraged, and children 11 and under must be accompanied by adults. So don't forget about that. Tomorrow night, 6 to 8 with the VFW. Fabri-Cal, oh my gosh. I talked to Nancy Bernal at Fabri-Cal yesterday, and they're hosting their annual Trunk or Treat event on October 31st from 4 to 6. Last year, Zeb, they had over 2,000 people, 2,000 kids.
Wow.
So that's a great event. Nancy started putting this together about 3 or 4 years ago, if I remember correctly, and now it's gotten so big. So many businesses, primarily in Burley, are showing up at this event and handing out candy to kids, and this really creates a really safe trick-or-treating environment for young people and their families. So it's just a great event. Pomerel Place at the same time on October 31st from 6:30 to 8 is hosting a community trick-or-treat event. And then on top of that, it's the Rupert Fall Fest on the square downtown. The big day, of course, is Halloween night. They're going to have music and food trucks and a costume parade and a dance-off, and they're going to be trunk or treating, which starts about 6:30 around the square. So kids can have all the candy they want in Mini-Cassia on the 31st because there's a lot happening. So we encourage people to get out there and enjoy.
You're really creating a sugar high for these kids.
Yes. We are, and then we'll send them over to Impact Athletic for a gym membership because that's probably the best way to handle that. But this is a great event, and again, all of these events, including one, of course, tomorrow night at the VFW. These are safe trick-or-treating events, and so just a great chance to get out with your family and get kids loaded up on sugar and have a good time and know you're in a safe environment. I think that's really important.
You know, it's hard to believe, but in just a matter of days, we're going to be into November, and you've got a monthly chamber luncheon to talk about, too.
We do. November 14th, our monthly chamber luncheon. I just want to give people a heads up. We're going to start RSVPing for that shortly. It's going to be held at Connor's Cafe right there next to Hub Plaza, right off the interstate. I don't know if you know him, but he's a extraordinary man, Dr. Ken Cox, who is the superintendent of Minidoka Public Schools. He's bringing a couple of his staff with him. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, but one that must be discussed. So we're going to be talking about things like teenage suicide, mental health issues inside the school system, etc. And it's a real eye-opener. And if you're interested in knowing more and how you can help and get active and engaged in this issue, this would be a good time to come to our Chamber Monthly Luncheon. Again, November 14th at Connor's Cafe.
And let's look ahead not that many days to January 30th.
No, and that's our big day, you know, our annual installation banquet. This is when we install our new officers, our new members to our board of directors. We've got a great team now, and we look to add one or two more people this next year. And so it's a great event for all area businesses to come and have a great time, a great meal, and a lot of great fellowship among our chamber members. And again, that will be January 30th. More details to come. That will be held at the Burley Inn and Best Western Convention Center.
You know, Penny, your record of answering trivia questions is 1 for 2. You are 1 for 2, and I give you a 500 batting average. But this morning I think I've got, after going into the pits of my mind to think back into the 60s, I've got a question that may stump you.
Come on.
All right, here we go.
It's a ways back. Okay.
Do you remember the television sitcom called The Donna Reed Show?
I do.
Okay. Do you remember her daughter on the show, what her name was, and what number 1 Billboard song that young girl had?
Oh, my gosh, Zeb, this is not fair. Okay. Okay, I'm stumped. Who was it?
Shelley Fabares.
Oh, my.
Johnny Angel.
Johnny Angel. Oh, my gosh. Does that take you back? I remember that. That's kind of a...
But did you know, as the wheels of the old-aged talk show host Zeb Bell are rolling right now, did you remember that what her brother was on that show, what her brother's name was, the real name, and what he did?
I can see his face.
His name was Paul Peterson, and he also had hit records. And do you know one of the biggest hits that he had?
Paul Anka, right?
No, Paul Peterson.
Paul Peterson.
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
Lollipop.
I think I was really young then. I think I was really young then. We need to get more into like the 70s and 80s.
Oh, okay. Now I'm trying to figure out why you're giving me this song and dance routine, because I know that you and a certain roommate of mine, my wife, went to school together. So don't give me that.
Well, don't tell on me and Deanne. We're a lot younger than people think. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, Shelley Fabares, I got you with a song called Johnny Angel.
Yes, Johnny, I can remember that. You know, wasn't that the greatest music ever, though, back in the day? Oh, my gosh.
The orchestration and the songs, and I know it sounds corny, but looking back, American Bandstand, Dick Clark, and all that, yeah.
Oh, please, it just doesn't get any better than that. Isn't that so true? I miss that music, and anyway, that's telling my age, that's for sure.
Well, I'll give you one that you can go out and...
Don't like that anymore.
I'll give you a Blaze of Glory question here that I know you can answer real quick. Name the group that was affiliated with American Bandstand and the TV show that Dick Clark had right after school every afternoon, and it featured a band from Boise, Idaho.
Dave? No. Paul, I can't remember his last name, but the Raiders.
Who was the guy that said, the British are coming, the British are coming?
Paul
Revere.
What was it?
Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Paul Revere and the Raiders. I was so close I had Paul and the Raiders. Does that count?
Well, no, there's a Paul that plays for the Oakland Raiders, too, so that doesn't count.
Hey, did you watch any of the baseball game last night?
I hope to shout.
What did you think? Was that awesome?
Well, no, because it's not awesome at all, because yours truly made a prediction on the radio before the series started that the Astros would win in 6, and right now they're down 2-0.
I did not know that. I'm so sorry.
All right.
But I thought it was awesome. And you know what I didn't know about the Washington Nationals was that, and you probably know this, but I had to be kind of reminded that they used to be the Montreal Expos.
That's right. And
that was awesome.
There never has been a World Series team from Washington since way back when they were the old Washington Senators.
Right, that's right. And I'm told that the game, I think, do they hold it tomorrow night? Is that right, in D.C.?
Yeah, they go to D.C. tomorrow night, and with my team being down 0-2 already, I'm not really optimistic.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. Maybe Washington, D.C. will finally find some happiness. What do you think?
I hope so. Something has to happen back there. I mean, we're talking about the good with the Washington Nationals, we're talking about the bad with politicians, and we're talking ugly with the media back there. So there you go. What are the 1,000 ways that people can get a hold of the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, thank you so much, Zeb. MinnecastiaChamber.com. Check out our website. We've got a weekly email newsletter, the Monday Motivator, if you'd like to be part of that. We'd love to send that out to you, highlights of the week's events and the things coming up. Please reach out to us if you have an event coming up. We'd like to get you on our community calendar. We can do that. You just need to give us a call. We try and stay on top of everything, but listen, there's so much going on. We're going to forget somebody. So please let us know if we can help you promote your event. We're open here every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and you can call us at 679-4793.
There you go. Penny Main at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friend. Have a great day.
All right. Take care. Finally, I got her stumped on a question there. I'm going to have a better one next week, I can tell you that. Don't forget, give us a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Gano Landscaping, tree trimming, and everything else. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet you they've got their chainsaws going 24/7. After that wind we had last weekend with all the branches and the limbs and the trees coming down, holy moly, you better make sure that you've got everything pruned for the wintertime and make sure everything's trimmed right. You don't want to have a big old limb coming through your big bay window. You get a hold of Gano Landscaping and Tree Service today at 336 South, 450 West of Paul. Numbers to call, write these down, 438-2485 or 431-8733. The best. I know that because they do work for us. Gano Landscaping, ready to serve you. Give them a call today. Really good folks. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't forget to, there's a lot of things happening at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. And what do you mean by that, Zeb? Well, I'll tell you, they're having a harvest sale. And a little bit later on this morning, Jeff's going to be on the program talking to us about that at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland in Burley. I mean, window coverings 40% off, fall flooring closeout specials, dining sets, motion furniture, mattresses, all on sale. You better check it out. No money down, no interest, up to 48 months on approved credit at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. 459 Overland in Burley. And Jeff will be on the air at about 10:23 this morning, and we'll talk more about it. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. And on Saturday last week, I guess the Jerome, cemetery lost a bunch of trees, and it fell over and hit stones.
Mm-hmm.
So, a bunch of people, my friend, he owns a dairy in Wendell. He owns actually 6 of them. So, but his son's house had a tree blow down and crush his car, if I'm not mistaken, and one that went through his house.
Oh, my.
And, it's last Saturday, and then, of course, we know of all the power poles that were snapped off. Once one went, it just started to, domino.
Yeah.
But one more quick thing. I don't know if you heard about Idaho's own Russ Fulcher. Did you hear, or am I just way behind?
Well, wait a minute. When you're talking about Russ Fulcher, there's quite a few different stories to talk about. Which one are you regarding in specific?
Well, Zeb, I've had a terrible busy morning, and I haven't had a chance to listen, but he stormed Mr. Schiff's closed-door meeting.
Yes.
And I was proud of him. He's part of the Freedom Caucus, and I wanted, Mr. Simpson was over in the corner sucking his thumb, and Russ Fulcher and the Freedom Caucus stormed that illegal mess that Schiff is running.
And I think it goes without saying that Steve Scalise and others, and Scalise, of course, recuperating from that shooting a couple of years ago and absolutely starting to get along a lot better, climbing down the stairs, going into that meeting. Finally, and I will say this, and I mean this, finally the Republican Party is starting to show life that they may have a spine and a backbone.
Oh, just a few of them. The Freedom Caucus, Jim Jordan, Gates, others, they show up. But at least we have one from Idaho. Crapo and Risch, they tell us a lot of things, but I never see a damn thing, excuse me. I know Simpson, he's just, I don't know what, I better just not say it.
Randy, I appreciate your call and your comments. I really do, and I know how frustrated you get. God bless you, man. Thanks for your call. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can share his pain because he gets so frustrated talking about people that could be doing so much more and demanding so much more. But while these clowns, and they are, clowns back there in Washington, D.C. that are looking for a circus, the Democrats, they absolutely are wasting so much time. There's so much good that could be done in this country to help everybody. Everybody. I mean, whether we're talking about Medicare, or whether we're talking about anything of social values, whether we're talking about anything that could make this country bigger, better, and greater, what are they doing? They're having closed-door meetings to try to figure out, to find a crime like whack-a-mole. They're trying to figure out how they can go after President Trump and stop him from being reelected. And it's stymieing both parties. Gee golly. That's what we're paying them for? Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to also give a great big shout-out to Let's Ride, where the fun is sold. Absolutely. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. I'm telling you, they've got all the side-by-sides. They've got all the four-wheelers. They've got everything. And how they get it into that showroom, I would like to see that. I want to sit there late at night with a video camera and watch how they get everything in there. It's amazing. Absolutely. And they've got a huge accessory department and a super service department to keep you running. They are good. Like I said, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. And they're located at 270 Highway 24. Between Rupert and the World. Let's Ride. It's true. They are aware the fun is sold. Oh, by the way, if you're over in that particular neck of the woods or part of the desert, I would urge you to get a hold of Cameron and Siemens Insurance and make an appointment. Make an appointment to make sure you are protected. I mean this. With life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, and they are so thoughtful and caring and dedicated to serving you, That's right. Call them at 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. The best. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Today is the big day. It's Lunch Bunch Day. And I want you to remember that it's costume contest for Halloween, and we've got great prizes to give out on behalf of the costume winners, and thanks to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Nick's going to be there, by the way, and also Tires West, Les Schwab. We thank them, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that starts at 11:30 today. Deanna and I are going to jump out of the old ranch house and run on down and be there at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. And we've got a lot of gift certificates to give away, too, from Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, and Denny's. So don't forget, Lunch Bunch today at 11:30 at Denny's. Be there. In just a moment, as a matter of fact, I think she may be on the line right now. Let's go to the phone line and say good morning to the lovely Rita Ramsey. Good morning.
I haven't had her calling.
But she will shortly, I know. And while we are waiting for her call that we know is coming in, I also want to acknowledge one more time about our dear friend Anthony over at Save On Shells. Oh, if you're looking for a camper shell, look no further than Save On Shells. And when I say that was a slight chuckle, he's got camper shells all over the place. I mean, they're on rooftops, they're up in trees, he's got them all over. All the shapes, colors, everything, quality, service, and low prices. And this guy absolutely knows camper shells. Anthony at Save On Shells, 1827 Overland and Burley. The number to call, 312-1525. I'll repeat that, 312-1525. You tell him I absolutely think he's the greatest when it comes to camper shells. I know because I've bought some from him. Save On Shells, 312-1525. Let's try that again. Is Rita on the line?
I still haven't had her call.
Well, my goodness sakes. Normally she's there waiting. Why don't you give her a call, please, at 678-0459, in case maybe she had her clock stop or whatever over there. And I think that's her right there. I know it's her. She just heard that, and she says, I'm a-coming. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
That a girl. You know, Rita, before we get really involved in a lot of these stories this morning, what are your thoughts as a person that knows and loves to follow politics and everything that's going on? What are your thoughts about where America really is today?
Well, the part that's really sad is we've got so much information available to us at our fingertips, and yet there are so many people that are not informed as to what's really going on. And that's the sad part, is because it doesn't take much for you to find out the information. And I just feel really sad to think, and this is why Trump's fake news thing is so powerful, is because those medias that spew out that stuff that isn't true and won't tell you the truth, and it's like, this is our take on it, but we're not going to tell you it's our take, and we're not going to tell you that we're stretching it or that it's not even true, is that lots of people believe it still. And it's just mind-boggling that people will not get informed.
What you just said a minute ago is a very chilling statement, because I totally agree with you. As I look ahead to the 2020 election, and all the people that I get a chance to visit with, not only here in Idaho, but around the world, and especially East Coast, left coast, whatever it might be. And due to the fact that most are subjected to the CNNs or the ABCs, CBSs, or NBCs, I'm really concerned about the planting of the seed of impeachment and the planting of the seed that, we can't have him in there for 4 more years. He's a criminal. We can't do this. We can't do that. People really do not understand what the circumstances are.
Well, they don't, and the thing of it is they're picking up a lot of these people that have no business being in the middle of it. You know, it's like Bernie Sanders. he's pulling in all kinds of people that don't have a clue as to what it takes to make a nation function. They've pulled in all of these young people that are going, oh, yeah, we like socialism. Well, if they actually studied about socialism, they wouldn't like it at all. And if they would, get off of their duff and start checking into information and pulling some of it in, I think a lot of them maybe aren't even employed. I don't know. I won't say they're unemployed, but it just kind of makes you wonder. And then I see that there's an article this morning on Breitbart News that says Bernie Sanders' immigration plan opens the border for all foreign nationals. And so they're trying to pull all of them in, and they've got them out doing their protesting and everything else against America. And these are people who don't even have a right to be here. And yet we're pulling them into that. And it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's going to be an actual vote by vote really counts. It's kind of like if you get in a big group and we can just, mob rule.
Rita, when you start thinking, and I don't know what happens at your church on Sunday mornings, and I know some of the conversation at my church on Sunday mornings, and I'm very outspoken about this. Some people think that we can be a refuge for the entire world. Well, to me, and I'm going to be very blunt on this program, that's completely incompetent and idiotic to think that. There are so many people that can get into a lifeboat before pretty soon the lifeboat submerges and all people drown. And that's what can and possibly very much will happen here in the United States of America, with a melting pot that is going to be cooled off to let everybody through the gates or across the border. We can't exist with this kind of stupidity.
Well, we really can't. And, the part that really bothers me about that is, I think it was last week on late night radio, I was listening to a gal, and she was Catholic, and she says, the thing that really bothers me about the Catholics is that the main Catholics, so we could go all the way up to the Pope and then spread out from there, they're getting so much money from the United Nations for showing refuge for these refugees and bringing them in and placing them in communities and stuff. And, of course, the majority of them are here in America. I mean, there's others of them that we don't know in other places. But then there was, I think she said that, she said it was the Lutherans. It might be, maybe it's not them. Anyway, there's one other big Protestant church who is just raking in the dough from the United Nations, and it's all about the money that they receive. It's not saying, let's just send a bunch of money over or people to help those refugees get re-established in a country in their homeland or near their homeland so they can stay there, because we can't take care of all of them.
Nor should we.
That would be the compassionate thing to do.
Absolutely.
They're not doing it because it's money.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. But I personally will come out, and I have said many times on my program, enough is enough. I am not in favor of more refugees coming into this country until we can temper what's going on and who they are and what they represent, know more about their health records and what they will do or not do to be an asset to the community or a negative. I am absolutely in favor of closing the walls on the border and closing any opportunity for illegal or illicit beings to come across the border with drugs and trafficking of anything, human trafficking, and or the want to try to kill you and I in the United States of America. I am turning into an isolationist that we better start taking care of ourselves first.
Well, we better. And, you've got lots of people who say, well, my family were immigrants, and they came from whether they came from Poland, whether they came from Germany, whether they came from Denmark, whether they came from England, wherever they came from in the 1800s. It's like, well, they came over here, and we've become really good citizens, and there's no more patriotic. And that's really true. A point was made that I heard, and I hadn't thought of it that way, but it's really true, is in the early 1800s, when lots of those were coming from Europe and other places, we needed people to fill jobs. We needed people to settle the West. we needed all kinds of that stuff. But they didn't just let everybody just come on in and it doesn't matter. It's like you're going through a process, and we kept it that way for a number of years. And then all of a sudden we kind of cut it off and said, okay, we're going to do this. And now it's just totally out of control because they're not making them go through hoops to get here and stay here and be here and take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Caller, we have you on the air quickly with your comments. Go ahead, please.
I would like to see, but I highly doubt it will ever work this way, close down to all immigration other than what we let in, what are vetted. And then for everyone that comes in, send back the ones that are here that ain't doing anything, that are just wasting their taxpayer money and our time and our efforts. Bring in those who actually really want to work, who actually have something to contribute, and send back the ones wherever they came from that don't want to do nothing but siphon off you and I. I'll let you go.
Well, I agree with you, Riley, but I'm going to throw a caveat onto what you said. And Rita, I want you to respond to this. It's great, and I underline that word with a question mark, for employers to say, well, we can't find anybody to work. We can't get anybody to do this, that, and the other. Okay, I understand their dilemma, but I also understand the dilemma of what we've created here in America. We've created a welfare state to where it's easier to hold a tin cup out and get everything you need and not work for it, and we've totally diminished and destroyed personal responsibility to fend for yourself and take care of your family. Until we correct that, it's not going to get any better. Rita, do you agree or disagree?
No, I think that's absolutely right, and for what he was saying, I would totally agree that if when they came through, and it doesn't matter who comes or how many comes, we say, you know what, when you come in here, if you can, sustain yourself, you've got a job, you've got a sponsor, we know absolutely that you are not going to be taking any social, spending out of our treasure, then we'll let you come. But unless they're going to make them come and come legally and show that they're not going to be taking out of our system, they don't need to be invited here. And if that word was put out, there would be a lot of people still saying, I will come, I will do that. But now it's kind of like, whoa, we can get in there and get all the free stuff, and they're not thinking about anything else. If they really are interested in coming and providing for themselves, they would say, okay, I'll do that.
I have been waiting.
If I may, before I go.
Quickly.
Okay. The thing about it is really burns me up when they say, well, we're doing jobs that most other white people or Americans won't do. Let me tell you, you're right on the welfare state. There is so much easier for people to sit around and be lazy and get a welfare check in the daggum mail than it is to work. If we find a way to put a stop to that, say, you know what, I don't care if you're getting welfare, you've got to put in at least 20 hours a week doing something. Community service, something. Picking up trash on the road, mowing the lawn at the park. You do something. We start doing that, and people quit getting on welfare and actually go to work. Yeah, Americans will do jobs if you make them, but humanity in its natural environment is lazy for the most part. And I really think if we actually took away all that free stuff, it actually worked. And I got to go, buddy, but I'll talk to you later.
I could not agree more. Rita, I agree with that young man. I've got to switch gears here a little bit because I've waited the last couple of days to throw this circumstance at you, Rita Ramsey. I cannot wait to hear your remarks. It looks like, and there are some real strong indications, that our favorite wannabe never was, or hopefully never will be, lady, Hillary Clinton, might run for president again. What are your thoughts?
Well, I really think that was her intent to begin with, and I think that the Democrats, in putting out whoever they put out, knew that they weren't going to have, they didn't have anybody. They didn't have anything promising. They didn't have any of that kind of stuff out there of who they would put forward. And I think if you talk to most Democrats, they would say, no, we don't want Hillary, but she's still saying, hey, it's my turn till I get there, no matter how we do it, whether it's right, wrong, or otherwise. It's my turn, and I'm going to be there. And I really feel like that could be part of their plan, is let all these other people, go out on stage and show how stupid they are and say some of the stupid things that they've got, and the social end of let's do socialism. That'll be fun and that'll work good and all that other stuff. And then Hillary will come in because she'll be the one who can, be, I'll be the moderate one, but we can go socialist because I'm used to that too. And she thinks that they can get everybody around her, and I just don't know if that'll happen.
Do you honestly think and or feel that she will take that step? I mean, it seems like every day there's another Democratic strategist that winks and nods at the camera and said, oh, yeah, she's waiting in the wings. Look out, here she comes. But, I don't know as if America from sea to shining sea is really ready to put up with her twice defeated personality, her pompous attitude, her arrogancy, and I just don't know if the American public would even entertain that thought.
Well, I feel that way as well, because I think there's enough people that are saying, I not only won't support her, but Trump has done so much better. I'm glad that I actually supported him last time. And normally they would be Hillary supporters, but there were so many people that's just kind of like, anybody but Hillary. And that's why it didn't work out so well for her. But it's the same thing, and they can start asking questions about her. The big question is, well, is Joe Biden too old? Look at what he does. He kind of goes around in circles with some of the stuff that he says and does and everything. Do we know that he's all coherent? Well, I'm thinking the same thing about her. She really went around in circles on a lot of things, and it made you wonder if she was really healthy or not. But I really think that there's a lot of people, Hollywood's one of them, a big group that are saying, oh, if we could just get Hillary, we're still Hillary supporters.
But the thing that I'm seeing is in the last couple of days, and maybe you don't agree with this, but even the media has kind of backed off in their rabid, kind of like junkyard dog attitude of really pushing Sanders, really pushing Elizabeth Warren, really pushing Joe Biden. And it almost seems like, hey, let's stop pushing the broom across the floor. Let's see what's going to happen, maybe with Hillary jumping in.
Well, I think that's what they're thinking, is that Hillary's going to come in and save the day. She'll be wearing her Superwoman cape. Everything will be wonderful, but I just don't think it's going to pan out.
Rita, would you please never make the analogy or the mind exercise that I just went through of thinking about Hillary in a pair of tights. Don't go there, please.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty, wasn't it?
I've got to do a weather forecast while we're still on the air. I'll be right back. Don't forget the weather brought to you this hour by Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company, providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. And I can guarantee you they're not wearing tights. Tax return preparation, tax planning, all the business consulting, retirement planning, all of this and so much more. They are, and I emphasize, the professionals helping you with all their accounting services. Offices in Burley and Rupert, Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Another relatively nice day as we get one day closer to the weekend. Here's what we're looking at. Expecting sunny skies with a high of about 54. A little bit breezy, not too bad tonight. Nice and clear with a low of 30 tomorrow. Sunny skies, expecting a high of 63. Winds out of the east at about 6 miles an hour. Friday night, clear skies with a low of 37. The winds will be picking up, and we could have gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Expected for Saturday, mostly sunny skies, breezy, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Looking at a high of 50. And Saturday night, we do have a slight chance of rain or snow showers before midnight. Slight chance of snow showers after midnight. Mostly cloudy skies with a low of 23. Then by Sunday, back to sunny and 40. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebeth Ranch.
Thank you very much, Gina. And the weather brought to you again by Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company, with offices at 1710 Overland Avenue in Burley and 6 25th Street in Rupert, Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And now back to the lady that has thoroughly destroyed my lunch thinking about Hillary in a pair of yellow tights. Rita, thank you very much. Woo! I want to ask you one other thing this morning.
They'll be orange like her pantsuit.
Oh, please. Enough is enough. No more, please. I can't take it. I want to ask you about this story that I mentioned in the first hour this morning, and I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it or not, but 3 students in a parking lot at the University of Connecticut were walking by an open window, and they were taped and videoed, and because one used the N-word in the conversation, now their lives are being turned upside down. They may be fined. They may be even expelled from the University of Connecticut. And this kind of an assault on free speech is really scary to me. What are your thoughts?
Well, it should be, and it's really sad to think that we live in a world where, if we say something that's abhorrent, and sometimes those words are, and they should be to all of us, that we just kind of turn and walk away and say, I don't really want to have any part of that, or please don't say that kind of thing. People wouldn't say it, but for them to start taping and filing lawsuits and putting people in jail and everything else, it will only lead to one more thing, and the next step is the thought police, not just the voice.
What worries me, though, Rita, and I think you will agree with this point, is that who or whom is going to discern whether what you said is good or bad?
Well, that's just it. Who is the judge? And that's why we, as Americans and as people that have morals and good faith and people of faith, in the way that we should treat people, we all should be the sheriff. We should be the sheriff of ourselves and those that are around us, and try to be the example that helps others to be good as we want to be good, and not get out of control. I don't think that the founders figured that the sheriff in town, or the Congress, or the campus police, or whoever it is, or wherever, are supposed to be policing the words that we say. But it's kind of like, no, if you're breaking the law, there isn't a law anywhere that says you can't say such and such a word. There's a law that says you can't do certain things that harm people or take their rights away, but when you say something, you're not taking anybody's right away.
The thing that bothers me...
Understand where that, where it's evolved from.
Yeah, and the thing that bothers me the most about this story, and I'm not at all in agreement with the word that was used that was caught on tape, but what I am saying is it could be something regarding a politician. It could be something regarding a political movement. It could be something regarding maybe someone in the community that this person didn't like, and they're turned in. I mean, this thing, it just absolutely reeks of a Gestapo-type attitude of your mind, your speech, and everything you do is regulated 24/7, 365 by the government.
Well, it is, and that's why it's just ridiculous that we all, if you take a look at the way that the Constitution was set up and the founding fathers and what they wanted, it's kind of like, no, we need government to do one or two things. That's to keep us safe from foreign and domestic powers, and protect our rights, and there might be one or two other things, but they don't need to be in everyday life, and they don't need to be the word police. And like I said, I don't agree with lots of language I hear all the time, and it's kind of like, okay, I turn my back and walk away. And if I'm in a conversation with somebody and they say something really offensive, I hope I have the fortitude to say, you know what, that really offends me. I wish you wouldn't say that, or just even the kind of notion of saying something in passing, kind of like, well, you probably don't need to be that rash with your speech, and then go forward. And that's it. They were just called out a little bit, and if they want to say, oh, I really probably shouldn't have said that or whatever, then that's fine. But for them to have them on film, now we're going to file charges and you're going to da-da-da-da-da, or you're going to get kicked out of university or anything else is absolutely ridiculous. There's only one thing that I agree with on threats and that type of thing is if they're threatening somebody seriously, and it looks serious, then we should take it seriously and say, you know what, maybe we need to have them in for a little visit.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying threaten somebody, I'm talking about like maybe the president, or if they say, I'm going to get my gun and da-da-da-da-da, we need to take some of that seriously as well. But just in passing and having somebody saying bad things about somebody or the other, and it doesn't matter whether they're the color or the nationality or the faith that they are or whatever, we just need to ignore that.
Absolutely. Rita, I enjoy Thursdays visiting with you for about 30 minutes on the segment here on the program. God bless you. Rita Ramsey, we'll look forward to next week. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Take care. Thank you. Very sharp, intelligent lady right there. Caller, I've only got 30 seconds. I've got to get an ad in. Quickly, what can I do for you? Real fast.
Gail Dixon from the VFW. Tomorrow night from 6 to 8, we're having a trunk and treat for the kids at 554 Highland Avenue. Hope everybody comes out and has a good time.
That was well done, and you did it in a great time frame. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, thank you. All right, now, if you're like me, you're probably starving to death this morning, and I know some great places to go, including the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Oh, they've got pumpkin shakes. They've got all the burgers, absolutely, and the French fries, special sauce, tater tots. They've got all the shakes, everything. I love those famous Farmer Brown burgers. They are excellent, and you will find the food just absolutely delicious at the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. You know where your friends are going in the morning for coffee? I'll tell you, Taco Bandito at 2301 Overland in Burley. And along with that coffee, they're having those breakfast burritos, scrambled eggs, bacon, and sausage, cheese, onions, tomato sauce on a tortilla shell. Woo! Knock your boots off, delicious. All the food is great right there, along with the pumpkin empanadas at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, let's go to not one, but two locations of Burgers, etc. 124 South Oneida and Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. These people are so nice, and they're offering after 3 p.m. in the afternoon corn dogs or burritos at just $1.39. You can't beat that. I'm coming for about 10 of them. Sounds good to me. And they're going to have soup starting this next week every day, a different soup. It's going to be fantastic. Really, really nice people that are serving you at Burgers, etc. in Rupert and Burley. And last but not least, I want to mention, I'm drooling, I'm hungry, our friends at Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. They've got that cheesy broccoli spud and the buffalo burgers, and they've got all the delicious cupcakes. Yeah, they got all kinds of delicious cupcakes. And if you're looking for a great place to go to eat at night when you don't want to cook, hey, there's the place. There's the place. Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn, and they're open Monday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Don't forget Steve-O's. And those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. Going to take a break, come back in 7 minutes. Don't go away. And a good morning to you on this Thursday, October 24th. Zeb at the Ranch, and of course brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with right now a great big fall tire sale. I urge you to stop in and see any one of the 7 locations today. And of course some of other great advertisers are Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And Greystone Crossing, Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. We're going to go to Cache County School Days in just a few moments, but I want to remind everybody the Bennett Boys Auction Service is going to have a really, really big, good sale coming up this Saturday, and it's in Donnelly. Yeah, leave early. It's going to start at about 11 o'clock in the morning. Get up, get in the pick-em-up truck in the car, head to Donnelly, and let me tell you, this is the Rocking Horse Ranch Equipment and Farm Auction in Donnelly. Look for the signs. And they're going to have tractors and farm equipment. They're going to have snow blowers. They're going to have saddles, lots of saddles and horse tack, household. It's going to be a good sale. Absolutely this Saturday in Donnelly, the Rockin' Horse Ranch sale managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, yup, they sell them all. Absolutely. Also, our thanks go out, and I want to make sure and mention this right now, to our friends at Patterson's. And I've got to tell you that when you're looking for anything for electronics, let's say that you need a car stereo and speakers, they are your car stereo speaker headquarters. Oh, they've got everything in there. And, of course, the great folks, Curtis and Lorena and the staff at Patterson's at 421 East Main in Burley. There to serve you, open Monday through Saturday 9 to 6, and they're always there with a big smile on their face. And come on in, we can help you with home theater systems, video surveillance cameras, car stereos and speakers, like I said, complete sound systems, all your TVs, everything at Patterson's Electronics, 421 East Main in Burley. Telephone number to call 678-6997. All right, now on Cache County School Days, we are very honored to have the communications director for Cache County, and she's got so many titles. I don't want to mess things up and or miss something, so we'll just say good morning to Debbie Critchfield. How are you?
I am well. Ready to talk about parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, I'll bet you that is a subject near and very dear to your heart.
It is, and I bring it up every now and again, but we've got two formal opportunities for parents to go in and have some type of communication with their teacher, and truly parent-teacher conferences are how parents can take part in their child's education.
Okay, it sounds good. It sounds like a noble cause. It sounds like any parent and every parent should be a part of talking to the teachers, finding out about the progress or lack of progress of their children. It doesn't work that way, does it?
Well, we shoot for a standard and for a goal, and then we take what we get. But having parents feel as though that opportunity to visit with the teacher, I don't think that there's any parent in the school system that doesn't recognize that that's a valuable conversation and time to meet with the teacher. It varies based on your child's needs, your availability, and so forth. And so you don't have to wait for this time, and if you miss this formal time, you can initiate a conference with a teacher anytime. And frankly, having that conversation with the teacher makes them more effective for your child. And it really is an opportunity to exchange information, for you to become more effective as a parent at home. And if you're hearing repeatedly when you ask your child, if the standard answer to what did you learn today in school, if it's a nothing time in and time again, then it's probably time for a meeting. Go find out what it is that is either limiting your child's ability to really engage, or you may just want to know what's going on in the classroom day by day.
Let me ask you this, and I've been thinking about this since the last time you were on the program. The gap, I'll use that word, the gap of the school to the student, and the student to the teacher, and the teacher to the parents, and then back again. It's pretty hard to fill in those gaps, isn't it?
Well, it's challenging, that's for sure, and it does take some effort. And part of Well, and if you think of the parent, I guess, as the connection piece between the child and, on the one side and the teacher on the other, I know for elementary kids it probably isn't too hard to get information out of them as you ask, and what's going on in the class, and what do you like, and what are things that you don't like, and so that you're prepared when you go talk to the teacher. And then as the parent to also seek out that opportunity to find out how is my child doing while they're in this class. And it's an opportunity for teachers and parents to fully understand the whole child experience. A good opportunity to share things that are happening at home that you might notice that my child acts or appears, like this or this. These are some challenges of things that we're working on at home. And perhaps a teacher can share her or his perspective on what they're observing at school so that parents can help address some of those things at home. It's more than just the academic, and should be, and coming to have a conversation rather than just sitting there. Nothing drives me more crazy. I know that parents can be, they feel that it's a waste of their time because they go and they sit and they feel like, well, it's a teacher telling me. They quickly show me papers, pardon me, and then, then I'm out.
Yeah.
That wasn't helpful to me.
Yeah.
And so I love to have them sort of feel like they're armed, if that's a good way to say that, to go and have a two-way exchange on how we can help this student be more successful.
Debbie, would there ever be, and I'm shooting from the hip here, so actually I'm shooting from the lip, would there ever be an occasion or an opportunity to where, let's say, school starts in September, and after about 4 weeks, teachers are starting to see a pattern, teachers are starting to see a negative in regards to certain aspects of learning, whatever the topic. Would there be an occasion there that maybe a postcard from the teacher to the parents from the school that would say, little Johnny is having a little trouble with this, and I really think we ought to get together because we need to stop this before it festers much longer? Is that any kind of an approach that would help?
Yes, in addition to what I think every teacher wants to do, and maybe because of, many students and time commitments or whatever, but engaging a parent to say, I've noticed some changes. Everything that I've looked at as far as the overall success of a student in school, you've got individuals that see and notice some of these changes in students that maybe parents aren't as, not that they're not perceptive, but they're not as aware of. For example, any types of changes in a social structure. Mm-hmm. A teacher notices that, this particular student isn't hanging out with the same group of friends, or seems to be acting differently than they had. I hope, and I believe that for the most part our teachers do that, but we're trying to encourage our teachers to reach out to parents. I don't know, maybe this isn't anything that you need to worry about, but here are some things that I've noticed at school. And the flip side of that would be for a parent who's observing these things, to go and talk to a teacher or a counselor, to have a conversation. I've noticed some things at home that, I don't know, my child doesn't seem to be acting the same. Have you noticed anything at school that we attack it from a team approach? And that in these types of conversations in meetings, make a plan. Take some notes. Support yourself as a parent. Feel confident in the fact that you're an expert in your child.
What you just said makes an awful lot of sense. And, the teachers today, I would assume, are extremely burdened with all the classroom, the knowledge, the maintaining of knowledge, the garnering of new information for the students, etc. Is there enough time in various classes for a student or a teacher to look out and say, you know what, I'm going to ask Johnny if he can spend just a few minutes with me after class. I'd just like to kind of get to know him a little better and maybe see what his thoughts are. Is there enough time for a one-on-one, perhaps?
I hope so. I'm choosing to believe that in our fast-paced technological world that we have not gotten so far scheduled and concerned with things that we don't fundamentally have time for people. And to make those connections, to have, we know that trusted adults in the life of adolescents, that is a key person outside of whatever the family structure is. And you know this, you know teenagers, that in a lot of cases as teenagers are navigating their way through life, that they look to other trusted adults outside of their own home.
Mm-hmm. That's right. My concern is, and maybe I'm jumping off the rails here a little bit, Debbie, but because of the technology and technocracy of today, and everything is in the back pocket of these students in the form of smartphones, iPhones, etc., that we really have lost something that I think the next generation, it's going to be hard to get it back, and that's being able to communicate with each other face to face.
I worry about that as well. And I know that our teachers see that and feel that. And if you're in some of these classes where, a speech class, for example, you're going to get some of those skills. Those are going to be traits that are taught as part of the day. I am hearing and seeing more and more teachers that are trying to incorporate some of those qualities in to whatever their subject is, recognizing that these are skills that are transferable to jobs and relationships and all of those things that perhaps have been taken for granted, that we're having to really reinforce.
Our industry, and it goes without saying, communications industry, whether it's radio, television, or whatever, is severely, and I underline that word, severely lacking of new blood that wants to get involved in the industry. And I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, and we're worried sick about what's going to happen with future newscasters, future sportscasters, future people writing as journalists. Boy, they're just not there. And I don't think we're doing enough to make these kids put down those phones, get rid of them, and learn how to communicate with each other.
How this generation, and I think we're all part of it to a degree, receives and absorbs information is very different. And papers and some of the traditional ways of, the media outlets and some of these things, there are definite changes, but at the heart of it, we still have to have this way to connect with the human race, and helping, as parents and teachers, recognize that there are things that are happening at school. The academic side, there are these other soft skills that are equal in importance.
If you were to sit there and have a megaphone that could be heard in the entirety of Cassia County to all the parents, what would you tell them in case they are a little lackadaisical about supporting their kids, parent-teachers conference, etc.? What would you say to them to please take the time to find out more about their kids?
This is how your child sets themselves up for life after school, and the knowledge, the skills that they have will influence the decisions that they make. Not influence, but control the decisions that they make now and the options that they're able to tap into. I am such a big advocate of a parent sitting and having this conversation with the teacher, taking the time. That the model that we have does not fully support what it is that I advocate for, because we try to get parents in, and you've got 7 minutes before the next parent needs to come in. If that's not enough time for you, say to your teacher, could I schedule another time? There are more things. I know that you've got other parents that you need to talk to tonight, but could I come back and talk with you in the morning or whenever it is? There are more things that I would like to talk with you about. And not having a parent sit across that table and feel as though it's just information that the teacher is giving, a little thank you so much, check your name, and off you go. Building a relationship, the parent to the teacher, is a powerful connection that will only benefit the student.
Absolutely. You know, I always look forward to Thursdays and visiting with you and others that you line up for Cassia County School Days, but you are excellent. And maybe you better reiterate the times quickly of the parent-teachers conferences, and then I'll let you go.
Right. After school until the evening, and I'll just remind people to check with their individual schools. There's always a little bit of a tweak, but typically it's 3:30 to 9 p.m. on tonight, Thursday night. And then no school for students tomorrow, Friday, but our teachers are in as conferences go, start about 8 in the morning until they finish up.
Debbie Critchfield, Cassia County School Communications Officer, and a very nice lady. Thank you for being on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful lady, and a good message for parents to be and stay involved in their children's education. I want to remind you that if you're a senior or you are caretaking for a senior, I know a great place where they can live and have fun and enjoy the good life with their friends. And I'm talking about Greystone Crossing, independent senior living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Oh my goodness. I mean, we took the grand tour a couple of weeks ago, and this place is beautiful. It's a 12-bedroom home, and it's right there on Alfresco Road, and 3 meals a day, housekeeping provided, local transportation. Oh my goodness, it's just like a great big fraternity house, if you will. It's a lot of fun. And I urge you to check it out and get more information. Call for a guided tour. Call Matt or Kelly Wiggins at 650-4979. 650-4979. Matt and Kelly Wiggins at Greystone Crossing, Independent Senior Living in Heyburn. Right now, we're going to go to the phone line and talk to the man. We're going to talk to Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More, 459 Overland in Burley. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Zeb. Thanks for having me on.
What are you doing over there this morning?
You know, Zeb, we're always up to something, and this may interest you. We actually, right now, have just received a number of new items into our inventory in both our furniture and in our floor covering. For starters, we've just received a number of new recliners and reclining sofas and love seats, and many of them that don't recline as well. So we've got a great selection, and right now we're just in the winding up days of our harvest sale, and so you can come in, and any of our merchandise that is on the floor or in our warehouse, these new items, you can actually get for an unbelievable 40% off.
Wow.
And we have just received several new shipments of carpet rolls and luxury vinyl plank into the store. We have a huge selection, and those are on sale as well.
You know, this is quite a deal. It's a harvest sale, and let me just give the parameters, and you can elaborate on it. 0 money down, no interest, up to 48 months on approved credit. Holy moly.
Yeah, you know, and Zeb, you and I both know a lot of people, and of course, we've lived around farms, and we understand, you know, a lot of people work hard. You know, they don't want to necessarily finance in every situation, and so a lot of times they tuck that money aside and they come in and they've worked hard for it, but they'd really like to improve the look of the home and do it in time for the holidays and be able to enjoy that and be very satisfied knowing that they've got the very best price and the very best quality. And so this time of year is a great time to come in and be able to refresh the home in time for that.
You know, and one thing I'm looking at right here are the dining room sets. And all of a sudden you got a phone call yesterday, and Aunt Martha and Uncle Fred from Phoenix are coming up for Thanksgiving. Grandma and Grandpa on both sides of the family. Woo! You don't have enough chairs and tables. Now's a good time to check out a dining room set.
Zeb, you know, it's interesting that you recognize that because, you know, a lot of people are going to be expecting the company, and if you want to get that table in, we've got them in stock, and they can be delivered before Thanksgiving, but many people want to order a table in so that they can be a little more specific with the style and size. We can do that. We still have time, but you don't want to waste time because in order to have those special orders in time, they really need to be placed here in the coming days and weeks.
You know, and comfort to me when I'm out and about all day long, or I've just finished up working with the horses or whatever, I come in and I want to be comfortable, and you've got all the furniture for people to be comfortable.
You know, and for your listeners, this is very true, Zeb. You've been in the store. We've had this conversation. You've looked at our chairs, and you know we have one of the largest
selection of recliners and stationary chairs in the Valley. And we've got these available for immediate delivery. We have large chairs, small chairs, leather chairs, fabric chairs, power lift, power headrest, lumbar, stationary, every type of chair, we've got it in stock.
Well, the thing is, and I've said this many times on the program, and not meant to be facetious at all, they've got, like the recliners for tall people, short people, skinny people, and then those like me. And you got to go in and really try them on.
Yeah. That's just it. But it's interesting, with many of the styles that we carry, particularly many of these tower recliners that are so popular right now, we've got several new styles that actually fit both men and women quite nicely. So if you're sharing the chair, we've got those as well. But it's true, we've got chairs that actually fit men up to, I think they're rated 6'9", and then we've got ladies' chairs for the more petite crowd.
Not many people have the honor of having Shaquille O'Neal come by for supper.
That's true. But, I don't want to leave it undone. Again, Zeb, a lot of people want to have the floors done before the holidays as well. It is true that we're very busy, but we managed to find ways to get the installations in before the holidays. But we have this huge selection of flooring in stock, specials on the carpet, specials on the vinyl. The luxury vinyl plank is so popular, and many people purchase that because they want to install it themselves. Again, you've been in the store. You know that we carry one of the largest selections in stock of the flooring, so you can purchase it, take it home. We've got everything that you need, the accessories, the trims, everything. So you can come in, be a weekend warrior, and get your floor installed.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland and Burley. Jeff, give us the hours that you're open.
Zeb, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are here on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm here this weekend. I invite everybody to come in. We'll be happy to show you everything we have, and we do free estimates. We can generally get those bids out to you within 24 hours, and we can generally get those installations scheduled immediately as well.
All right, we're talking to a good guy, and you can find out just how great they are by stopping in at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland and Burley. Take care, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Zeb. Thanks for having us.
Take care. Thank you. Really, really good people over there. Appreciate Jeff being on the program this morning. Once again, in exactly an hour, we're going to be over at Lunch Bunch at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner at 611 North Overland and Burley, and we urge you to attend. It's our Halloween costume contest day, and our thanks go out to the prize donors. Lee's Furniture, just talked to Jeff. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and of course Tires West, Les Schwab. Thank you very much. And also gift certificate donors, Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, and Denny's. All of this at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland and Burley, for our Halloween costume contest party with Zeb's Lunch Bunch at 11:30. Right now, we'll send it back over to our main studio. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, man, I got to tell you that in this segment right now, until we leave a few minutes early to go to Lunch Bunch, I'm worn out. After a week of providing all these different topics and all these different guests and everything, I would really appreciate it if you'd kind of let me sit back, figuratively, so to speak, in my chair, put my boots up on this desk, and listen to you call in with any subjects that you want to talk about for a few minutes. It's been a real good week, and we're planning on having another real good week this next week. As a matter of fact, we've got some top-notch home run people coming on the air to discuss anything that's going on, not only here in the state of Idaho, but also the United States and the world. But right now, the phone lines are open at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. I would love to hear from you. I know Deanna and I, come Thursdays, we're just kind of sit back. She does so much to help me on this program. Like I said, we get up early in the morning at 4 a.m. and start getting information Washington and then calling back east and trying to get various news agencies to provide various stories, finding out more, checking on our guests and everything. And all of a sudden at about 10:30 this morning, like what happened just a few minutes ago, you kind of go, oh, and relax a little bit. One story I wanted to get on a little bit while I wait for your phone call. And this really it's making my teeth on edge and just makes my teeth grit, is that now various groups around the world, not only here in this United States, but also around the world at major airports, they are going up to various concourses in groups, and they're shaming and calling people names and denigrating people that are doing nothing more than waiting to get on a flight. Why? They call it flight shaming. Flight shaming. Remember those words. And these crazy, worthless kooks are flight shaming these people, saying, every time you get on an airplane, you're aiding and abetting the need for the elimination of planes and air travel because you're harming the environment. Oh, give me a break. I mean, every day the list of stupid people just gets bigger and bigger and larger. Now they're flight shaming innocent people. Passengers that maybe are going on business trips. Passengers that maybe are going home to see a very sick grandmother or mom or dad. Or maybe they deserve a vacation and they're leaving town for a while, but these kooks are standing there pointing their fingers at these people, damning and condemning them, saying that they're hurting the environment for getting on an airplane. You know, the garbage, and it is, absolute garbage that's going on in the world today needs to be swept up and just dropped into a big bucket and burned. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Calm down just a little.
No, I will not calm down. I'm not going to let anybody calm me down. I'm going to remain upset, and don't you try to change me. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome. Yeah, you know, it's like those people that went out in the ocean on those plastic kayaks protesting the oil wells out there.
Yeah.
You know, and these people are shaming people flying on an airplane, but yet they drive combustible cars to get there, or they drive electric cars who are charged by coal-fired plants to get there, got their plastic smartphones. They got all this stuff that they want to shut down. If they want to stop a lot of this use of fossil fuels, give up everything plastic, go back to glass bottles like we did in the 50s and 60s, and recycle.
You know, Doug, let me ask you this. Do you know, or have you talked to anyone that can tell you the bottom line? What do they want? What kind of a society do they want to live in, or what do they want? Nobody can honestly answer that question.
They can't. The only thing they say is a fair society. Okay, so what do you consider fair? All those rich people need to share their money.
Oh, yeah. They don't want to work for it like those other people did and have accrued the mass material items through hard work and perseverance and employed a lot of people and made their companies grow, but they just wanted handed it to them.
Yeah, and it's like we've created a fast food, instant gratification society. These kids that go to school, get out, go to get a job, they do not want to start at the bottom and learn the job and work their way up to become boss. They want to go to that job, and they think they should have the boss's job and all of his benefits, just like the kids buying a house. I mean, in my parents' day and your parents' day, even your day, you bought what you could afford, and you worked your way up.
That's right.
And then you finally got a nice house. The kids nowadays, they come out and they look, oh, I want to have a big fancy house like that, so they mortgage everything. I mean, their paycheck goes out every month in all the payments for these toys and all this stuff. I mean, You got to think.
Well, what do they want, though? I mean, when they protest somebody sitting in a concourse waiting to get on a flight, what do they want when they say, don't fly anymore, you're hurting the environment? Okay, so we're going to turn into a completely regressive society around the world. Nobody's going to be able to travel. Nobody's going to be able to conduct business. Nobody's going to be able to go see their relatives. Nobody's going to be able to do anything as far as travel is concerned because they also want to eliminate private cars and the driving. So really, what do they want? Do they want us to all regress back to a horse and buggy day and just maybe go within a 30-mile radius of home and just exist? I mean, what do these crazy, idiotic kooks want?
They want control.
Bingo.
They want control, and that's how you control people. If they want to do something to, for the environment, go to these airports where all these private Lear jets come in and out with one person on, two people on, this private jet coming in. I seen the other day where that says the carbon footprint from these people flying over to Europe to that deal and back on their private jets have a bigger carbon footprint on that one trip than most Americans do in a year.
Yeah, but I don't believe in being negative about carbon footprints. I don't believe in being negative about fossil fuels. I believe that we are right now the strongest country in the world today because of an energy program that has enhanced fossil fuels, has enhanced natural gas, has enhanced an energy program that the rest of the world is envious of. But these twits, these absolute brainless twits, want to put us in a regressive mode so that we end up being a third world country.
That's bingo. They want a one world government. And how you do that, you take the strongest nation in the world and bring them down.
Absolutely. I've got another call before I have to say adios, and I do very much appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
No problem, sir.
All right. Caller, quickly. I've only got 2 minutes left. Go ahead, please.
I think they're being a little bit hypocritical. How did they get there to protest? Didn't they use vehicles? And what were they doing there at the airport anyway?
Oh, you know as well as I do. They packed their knapsack and they hiked across the barren deserts and the plains and the forests, and they got to their destination and they protested.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, would you call me this afternoon later? I owe you a big apology, and I'll tell you why later.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thanks, Sharon. Oh, a wonderful lady right there. Hey, what we're going to do is we're going to do the weather in just a moment, but I want to tell you something. I've had a chance to... I'll take one quick call. I've got 1 minute for a call. Caller, any longer than that, and I got to cut you off. Go ahead real fast.
Well, can you imagine, the people in Hong Kong that are protesting and singing the American anthem, national anthem of America, and holding American flags are still over there protesting? The people of Iran who want to be free of the mullahs. Everywhere across this world, there are people that look to America and American government to help them. And then we have to deal with the evil, the unbelievable evil like Schiff and Schumer and Hillary and all of them. And then the two-bit people that protest. You say, what is the deal with you people? You ain't got a job? I ain't got time to go protest. I got to work. Who's feeding you, you two-bit pile of what?
Easy.
We have phones.
No, I agree with you. Randy, I've got to leave early to go to lunch bunch, but I want to continue this conversation Monday about absolutely the idiocy and incompetency that's taking over and trying to be a ruling class in this country. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really do. Thank you. Right about this time of the day, you're probably sitting there going, well, where are we going to go to lunch? I know the place. If you're hungry and you want the best of burgers, I've heard so much about their burgers. I've heard so much about their service. I've heard so much about their food, and I'm talking about Edith's Cafe, 144 East Highway 81, right there across from the golf course in Burley. They're open Tuesday to Thursday, 11 to 8, Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 9. Did you know that they also do catering? Did you know that they can handle up to 600 people in their event center with tables and chairs? Did you know that they've got the greatest of food for you and your family? I'm looking at their menu and I'm drooling. They've got steak and salad, and they've got all the different burgers, and the desserts will knock your boots off. Peach cobbler, my favorite. I've got to get in there. To Edith's Cafe, 144 East Highway 81 in Burley. You stop in and enjoy today. Well, let's go to the weather forecast real quick, and the weather brought to you by Scarrows Meats, and of course they're located at 331 North Road, Jerome. Telephone number to call 324-7657, and you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. Delicious meats. All the meats, pork ribs, and of course don't forget they've got the tri-tips, and they've got all the different bacons, and they got all the sausages and the brats. I love my brats. And all you got to do is stop in or call 324-7657. Scarrows Meats in Jerome. I'll be right back after the weather.
Another relatively nice day as we get one day closer to the weekend. Here's what we're looking at. Expecting sunny skies with a high of about 54. A little bit breezy, not too bad. Tonight, nice and clear with a low of 30. Tomorrow, sunny skies, expecting a high of 63. Winds out of the east at about 6 miles an hour. Friday night, clear skies with a low of 37. The winds will be picking up, and we could have gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Expected for Saturday, mostly sunny skies, breezy, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Looking at a high of 50, and Saturday night, we do have a slight chance of rain or snow showers before midnight. Slight chance of snow showers after midnight, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 23. Then by Sunday, back to sunny and 40. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebit.
And thank you, Gina. Excellent job. Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Don Scarrow and his crew serving you. All you got to do is give them a call, 324-7657. And it's true, they are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. As I said, it's Lunch Bunch Day, and I'm going to skedaddle out of here and hit the highway and get on down to our lunch bunch at Denny's. Don't forget, 11:30. And I just want to say thank you to everybody out there this week. It's been a fun, education-filled week on all the different topics, and I really appreciate your calls. I want to remind you, too, about our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and I mean serving you with the best of tires and brake service, front-end alignment, shocks and struts and batteries. It goes without saying that they have some of the nicest, caring people at all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland and Burley. They really care. And like I said, a big fall tire sale going on right now for all your vehicles, all your trailers. Stop in and see them today. They've been doing the right thing since 1952. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Right now we're going to say adios, and they'll play a little music so I can get out the door. I want to remind you that the way things were, the way things ought to be. We always end the program that way. And then we say the 4 most important words on Zeb at the Ranch. In God we trust. We'll see you next Monday at 8:06.